So now that we've looked at chapter 2, let's try out the homework. It says in the given measure, how many beats are shown? The measure might not be complete. Okay. So first, we have the beginning, which is 4/4. And this means that a quarter note equals 1 beat. This bottom 4 is for fourth note. And since it's 1 beat, then we have to see how it compares to other things. So if that's the case, it's 1 beat. Then an eighth note is a half beat. And these 16th notes, they're going to be quarter beats. So now let's just see how much that adds up to. How much do we have of that? Do we have a complete 4 beats measure, or do we not have a complete one? What do we have? So I'm going to just combine them together. This first thing, this next one, that's an eighth note, right? And then that's a eighth rest. So that equals 1 beat if we add them together. That equals 1 beat, quarter note. If I add up 3 16th notes and 1 16th note rest, then I have 4 16th notes. Quarter equals 2 eighth notes, or 1, 2, 3, 4 16ths. So since I have 4 out of 4 equals 1 quarter note. So in total I have 1, 2, 3, and that's it. I don't have a complete measure. So I have then in total I have 3 beats. Where do I write that now? 3 beats. And I circle it. Let's look at the next one. Oh no! We have an 8 at the bottom. So what does that mean? That means now we're going to give eighth notes 1 beat. We're just going to count by eighth notes and compare everything else to them. So here is 1. There's an eighth note rest, so 2. And then over here, 2 16ths equals, well, that's our third beat. So we have all 3 beats. 3 eighth note size beats. Okay, now we move on to one that also looks a bit strange. It has a 5 on the top. So what does this mean? It just means that there would be 5 beats in the measure of whatever type of beat we have. But it doesn't really mess with us or matter too much. All we really need to concern ourselves with is the bottom part. Since it says 4, we know that we're dealing with fourth notes or quarter notes. So quarter note equals 1 beat. And so we have 1 quarter note rest, 2. Now let's count these one up. 16th note, which is a quarter beat. This is a quarter beat too, 16th rest. And this is an eighth note with only 1 beam or coming off, or 1 flagged. And that's a half of the quarter note. Half of that. So we have 2 quarters, which equals a half, and 1 more half. In other words, all of this is equal to 4 16th notes, or 1 beat. So let's go first beat, second beat, third beat. Now we have 2 16ths, quarter plus quarter. And again, that equals half. Then we have a eighth note, which is half. And we add two halves together and we get another whole quarter note, a whole beat. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 beats, and no more. We don't have a complete measure. So we have 4 beats total. Cool. Now what do we got next? 4/16. Okay. Again, whatever's in the bottom is the thing that's going to get one beat. And so it's 16. So a 16th note equals 1 beat. And we have, well, 1 here, 2, and that's it, 2/16. So beat 1, beat 2, or 2 beats. Another crazy looking one, but isn't really actually that crazy. 7 just means we'd have 7 beats in a measure. And what's really important is we're counting with eighth notes. So an eighth note equals 1 beat. And how many do we have? 1, 2. Well, this is only a quarter here. Oops, not a quarter. It's a 16th note, but we're dealing with eighth notes, so it's a half of a beat. This is a full beat because it's eighth note rest. Then we have another eighth note, so full beat. And is that it? Yeah. Then we have a 16th note, which is half of an eighth note, so it's a half beat. So I'm going to add up all the wholes and the halves. We have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 whole beats, and then we have this 2 halves, which equal another whole beat. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beats total. And that's how you count beats.